Welcome to Afra's Artifacts, where we do some archaeology of our own and dig into the queer side of Star Wars. I'm your host, Alia Morgaine, and it's so great to have you here. Well, today is starting my series of episodes on Queen's Hope. So much queerness in this book. E.K. Johnston is a genius and is such a champion for the queer community, and she just makes me so delighted. So this book is a young adult novel, Queen's Hope, and it takes place around the time that Padme and Anakin get married. So pretty much right after the ending of, right before the ending of, and then mostly afterwards, the ending of Attack of the Clones. So really interesting time period, and we get stories from several different handmaidens, and two of those are Saché and Yané. So today I'm going to talk about their wedding, their children, and then share an interaction that was had with a little Rhodian girl that was super cute. So next week I'll be talking about Saché, and the week after I'll be talking about Yané. And it doesn't stop there. There's going to be at least 3 other episodes that are taken from this fabulous novel. And I will say, I don't typically read novels more than once, but this one, I would. So, Saché and Yané's wedding. Well, it took place 2 years before the events of this book, so 8 years after The Phantom Menace. And Yané's wedding dress, when marrying Saché, was utilized wedding fabric, which is something that seems to be a Naboo tradition, where they have family heirloom wedding fabric that gets incorporated into the dress. So love how they did this. Yané's wedding dress used her wedding fabric and Saché's wedding fabric. So both wedding fabrics were incorporated into the train and the sash. So I love that she was like, okay, I want to present more femininely, so I'll use both of our wedding fabrics because you mean a lot to me. And Saché's outfit, on the other hand, was wide-legged trousers to fit her personal taste. Love that. So Saché wanted to present more masculine, and I think that's super, super cool. So that's their wedding. Well, what about their children? So they have a large contingent of children by the time of this book. Originally, they had adopted some kids from the occupation. So when the Trade Federation occupied Naboo in the Phantom Menace, some of the children who became, orphans or were just in bad situations, they were taken in by Saché and Yané. And in the time of this book, they are mostly away at school for the semester. So the kids that are really focused on in this book were mudslide victims. So they're the most recent children to join Saché and Yané's family. There was a mudslide in the eastern region of Naboo's secondary continent, and the only survivors were 8 children who had been in a school transport. Luckily, 4 had been taken in by other family members, but there were 4 that were all cousins and lost everyone. Excuse me. So these children, they're still recent additions. They're settling in. They still have nightmares. A few were aggressively claustrophobic. And at the same time, they were all making good progress toward healing. And a lot of that was because of Yané's work with them and Yané's being this fabulous mother figure for these mudslide victims. So along with those mudslide victim children, I said they show up a lot. So Saché is making a call to Padme. So this time it's Saché. And Saché is a government representative of Naboo. So she doesn't have as much time with her family as Yané does. But she still deeply loves her children. So Saché's talking to Padme on a call and says, "Give me a moment. I've got some company." And then it says, she stepped out of the projector's range, and Padme could hear her issuing orders to some of the children. There was laughter in the background. Then Saché says, "All right, I've banished all the little ears to the garden." And then as their call continues, it says, they talked about a few other inconsequential matters for a moment before a disturbance on Saché's end drew their conversation to a close. One of the kids had fallen in the pond, and the ensuing commotion was enough to end the call. Saché was laughing when she signed off, though, and Padme was glad to see that she was so happy. So clearly, as it was said, and I believe Queen's Peril, Saché and Yané originally longed to have a house that they shared that was filled with children. And they got that dream. And I love it. And in the context of this book, it's so sad, though, because Padme wants that so bad, but she can't have it. So there is some heartbreaking parts to this book in regards to Padme and Anakin really not having much of a familial future for the two of them. But Saché and Yané do have it, and they love their life. So lastly, I wanted to share a cute interaction between a Rodian girl in Carlinus and Saché. The Rodian says, "You're not Sabe." Saché says, "No, my name is Saché. Sabe is one of my best friends." Rodian says, "Well, that's good." That's so cute, just like such a childlike thing to say. Well, that's good. And then Governor Kelma says, "Saché is also married to Yané, one of the people who helped you settle in." And the Rodian girl says, "Oh, I remember her. She was delightful." And Saché so sweetly says, "I am rather fond of her." So their love is still going strong. They have a big family. I am loving getting an update on them. And so next week I will talk about what all Saché's got going on. And the week after that, I'll talk about what Yané has going on in the time of this novel. So please comment down below on what you think. What do you like about Saché and Yané? What did you like about this novel? Did you read it? It's so good. So remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter at Alia Morgaine, and peruse my blog at thestarsreview.blogspot.com. May the Force be with you.